What's up YouTube? My name is Uncle Smokey, and this is Uncle Smokey Stock Trades. Before I start this video, I would like to say I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. So please take what I say with a grain of salt, and do your own DD. Today we're going to talk about ticker symbol MMAT, Metamaterials Inc. We're going to break down the technical analysis, we're going to look at the options chain, we're going to go over Ortex and Fintel. I'm also going to look at the earnings statement. It's not so much out, but the fact that they have went ahead and announced when it's going to be. And also at the tail end of the video, I have a really interesting piece for you. I did a little bit of due diligence, just wait, just stick around. You're going to like it, okay? I'm clearing the air for some of these Twitter guys out there that are being a little bit ridiculed and criticized, okay? So let's go ahead and break into the TA. So today we started out pretty dang strong, popped right up and then came down. We did our morning dip, and I thought that that was going to be it when we respected the bounce, but then the shorts really came into play, and they hammered it down. They hammered it down hard. In fact, they used about 4.5 million shares of, let me rephrase that, 4.5 million in volume to bring it this far down. That's all the way down to 335 from 360, let's call it 360 even. 25-cent drop. 4.5 million in volume. The rest of the day only consumed 5 million in volume, and 1.5 million of that was in the last 15 minutes. They really had to work hard at this. Really hard. And that's great for us, because all they're doing is lining our pockets. They're making this a lot better for us in the end game. Now, the other thing I want to show you, yes, this is a cup and handle. You can clearly see that. Nothing more clear about this. It's a cup and handle. As technical as it gets, cup, handle, pullback, rip. Dip before the rip, guys. This is one of the many things some of these YouTubers talk about as far as a dip before the rip. This is clear. The other thing I'm going to do for you is first, I'm going to show you what it looks like off the VWAP. Boom. Perfect. Perfect bounce. Also, I want to bring up the Fibonacci retracement real quick. So we're going to start right here. We're going to pull it all the way down to here. That bounce is right in between the 61.8% and the 50%. Here, we'll brighten it up for you. Make it a little brighter so you can really see it. 61.8, 50%. There's the VWAP right in the middle. There's the bounce. It respected it. This is how you read technical analysis. I'm giving you this breakdown. I'm showing you this so you guys can see what you're looking for, not just in MMAT, but ultimately in any trade. If you see a stock mount the VWAP and run like this, and you see it remount the VWAP on a retracement at 50%, or even up here in the 61%, expect a bounce, because this is more than likely going to be a bullish indicator. Okay, now that's not 100%, and again, not a financial advisor, not financial advice, but I've traded off of this move many times, okay? Now, that's all I want to cover on that part of that. Otherwise, we had a great day. We ended green. Now, we only ended up about 1.5%, 1.75%. So it's not like it was some big, fantastic green day, but it's number 5. 5 in a row. We've never seen that since we've been MMAT. Woo! It's exciting, guys. I'm sorry, but it is very exciting. We're totally respecting our ascending level of support. We'll go back to the 5-minute chart just so that you can see that. Oh, I'm moving lines all over the place. Let's see here. 30-minute chart. You'll really be able to see it. Okay, boom. There it is. Ascending level of support. Still respecting it. We did pull down below it a little bit today, but popped right back up to end in the green. So let's just keep moving on. We're going to move right into Thinkorswim. So let's start with the earnings thing right here. MMAT, this time it is verified. Tomorrow, 5 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time after market close. Now, I want to address this real quick. Congratulations to Sterling. He got a response from George Palikaris. Now, that's super awesome. Great for him. Right down here, the actual deadline is August 16th. That's when it's due. Now, most of us know that this morning Meta went ahead and released a Q2 results on August 12th, right? They did that well, basically late last night. Now, if you come down here, this is where you can apply to get their emails. So if you want to stay up to date, like Sterling had said yesterday in his video, go down there, fill out your information. They'll send you emails when this kind of stuff breaks. I got mine first thing this morning, and Sterling got his, and we were all very aware that this was happening. So we click on it, boom, there it is. And again, I'm not going to read this. You guys can get in here. This is easy to get to. Meta.com, metamaterials.com. Go to news, click on it. Done. All right, so back to Thinkorswim. Let's go to the options chain. What a great options day it was, too. We were about between 90 and 95% calls at 15,600 to between 5 and 10% puts at 1,750. IV came down dramatically, and that's because it got brought down heavily. All right. Now, also remember, when we climbed back up, we stair-stepped beautifully on low volume. There was nothing extensive about the volume going into the rest of the day until the tail end of the day. Now, I usually want to see consolidation through the last half hour of the day. However, a day like today, we would have ended red that way. I'd much rather see us end green, so we'll take that. I'm not going to worry too much about the consolidation at the end of the day, considering I think we're doing pretty good in the after hours with our consolidation right in here. Stop looking at my chart for tomorrow. Yeah, we're consolidating good right here. Now, let's move on. So, Ortex. I was having a little bit of Ortex a little bit ago, so a little bit of trouble with Ortex, I'm sorry, a little bit ago, so let's see if it's working right now. Give it a minute to load. Alright, so finally loaded in. It took a little bit of time. Sorry about that. So here's what we got today. Utilization came down just a little bit, which is kind of to be expected. We've been having green day after green day after green day, and to blindly think that shorts aren't covering some of their positions as they go along would just be plain downright foolish. Plus, you can tell that right here, basically a net neutral day, they're returning shares as fast as they're borrowing them. In fact, a little bit faster right now. And of course, they don't want to get caught with their pants down, even though they've already been caught with their pants down. So, hey, I guess lessen the damage on their end. Good for them. Not. Anyhow, keep pushing on. Right into the short interest page of Fintel. So we talked about it yesterday. NASDAQ released their numbers. We're expecting the FTD totals to be coming out here very soon, and we'll go over that when that does come out. The one thing I do want to say is I do still firmly believe that there's about 10.5 million torch shorts, FTDs rather, that have to be covered. And I think that would happen once this earnings thing breaks, hopefully with some PR. I think you're going to really start seeing some shorts covering that torch end. Now, as far as it goes with the metamaterials end, that's still very gray. It's still a very new, young company as far as it goes with the NASDAQ. And as information comes to light, the numbers will change and things will get a little bit clearer. Okay, so I'm not going to push too hard on the FTDs at the present moment in time. With that being said, short interest has changed. Remember a couple days ago it was at 11 million some odd shares. Now it's at 14 million some odd shares. So it just shows that they're shorting the hell out of the stock. Days to cover is kind of staying right in that same range. With the short interest percent to float is now at 8% again, went up. Look at this. Short squeeze score keeps going up more and more and more every day. We've gone from 48 to 50 to 50, I want to say 3, 54, 55, now 57, almost 58. Short share availability. Now, you'll notice about 10 hours ago, the short shares got really low. And about 10 hours ago, they started shorting the crap out of our stock, right? But then they started returning it, okay? Buying back their shares, things like that. And believe it or not, some of this might have just been borrowed shares that they never even shorted into the market. They're just returning them because it's getting more expensive to own them. All right, so as you can see, the short borrow fee rate is going up, finally. Let's come down here. Any update down here? We got the 10th number here, still the same. CBOE, this is from the 10th. This is from yesterday. There's the shorts there. Grand total still hasn't come out, though. Still waiting on that. Short transactions. All right, so again, we don't have today's. Well, hang on, let's check. Refresh. Yeah, we don't have today's. No big deal. I did go ahead and put yesterday's numbers in, however, and here they are. So again, I always want to shout out Terry on this one. Great job on doing this, leading us to being able to do this kind of stuff with this. The one thing I do want to do is I eventually want to publish this on a day-to-day basis and attach it to the description of my video so everybody can see this, and they can physically go through and look at these numbers themselves, and maybe make their own educated decisions and guesses on how this all is playing out, even though it's, you know, black and white. 133 transactions yesterday for a grand total of 412,000. That's not right here. This is only like 412,371. I think I added an extra number in there. Let's fix that now. Boom, there it is. Right. For a grand total of $1.5 million shorted yesterday. For us to be green, we were green yesterday. They're losing this battle day after day after day. They're moving into the millions every single day. Some days 1.5. Some days 4.5. Okay. Do what you do, shorties. We'll take the tendies. What do we got next? So, alright, this is where it's going to get a little bit interesting, guys, so pay attention. I don't want to confuse anybody, and if I do, again, I'm sorry. So, we had a couple of sellers today. This guy here completely sold out of position, and these two here, which are basically the same group, company, I believe, changed their positions today. Now, the one thing I want to say about these 13Fs, 13Fs, they have to be done quarterly. I've told you guys that before. But the thing I think I may have failed to mention is they do have time to release their 13F. It does not necessarily mean that it got released on the day the quarter ended, for them to state what their current filing is. And they do that on purpose. It kind of keeps other money guessing on what their position is, so that way you don't have a big flood into certain areas of the market. I guess that's the reason why that works. That's how I've gathered it over my years of doing this, is they do that for that reason, so that way it doesn't flood all at once. I don't know. It's confusing, I guess, but it makes sense in the end. Now, with that being said, I'm going to kind of show you what I mean. So I'm going to go over here to this Hayden Royal LLC, showed they closed their position. Now, it was a pretty hefty position, disclosing 64,500 shares before, and now they have none. All right. Now, you'll notice that it says Torchlight, though. That means that they sold their position somewhere before this. It could have been any time before 6:30, okay? And they filed it for today. They had from then till now to make this filing public. All right? I don't know. So that's basically what that means. And that's that way with all of those. Now, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and move over to the Susquehanna one. All right. Same thing. They changed their positions. And you're going to come down here and you'll see the same thing. Effective date, file date. Okay. But the other thing you'll notice is their change in positions was nothing more on this one, their Torchlight swap. It's an exact 50% switch. Okay. So don't get scared. They didn't sell off. It switched. And they have to report that. They have to report showing that their shares also went from being what would have been 340,000 to now 170,000. All right. So no big deal on that. Let's move on to the buyers. And again, 13Fs, which means this is any kind of filing. You know, it's not necessarily today. Now, again, this could have been any time in the last 45 days. Call, put. I want to describe this as hedging or maybe a spread, okay? You'll notice that their call is like double their put, and that's because they want to be able to cover this if it fails. So you'll notice what that is. Now, here's the other big one of the day. Blackrock Inc. disclosing they have 4.4 million shares. Again, we're going to look at that. Effective date was the 30th. Metamaterials. This was an increase of almost 3,000%. This wasn't their Torchlight shares doubling. This was them physically buying more shares in that period of time. Blackrock is extremely bullish on Meta Materials Inc. Now, with that being said, you'll remember Blackrock is also commonly known as Rothschild. When there's time to buy is when there's blood in the streets, especially when it's yours. So yes, BlackRock has been known to be a major shorting fund, but usually that would show up as a put position, not as just general shares, and that's what they have, is shares. Okay, so to me, this is very bullish, seeing that they're holding 4.5 million shares at $33 million value. Yeah, I'll take it any day of the week. I did bring up their SEC filing just so you can see that. This is the legit doc, and you can do this anywhere. You don't need Fintel. You can go to sec.com and look up any information you want to find on any of these companies. It's all public knowledge. It's just delayed. It's like a window of delay. That's a great way to describe it. Everything has a window of delay in the stock market. And unfortunately, as a retail investor, that's not good because we don't get to see what's in that window, right? And that's where the transparency issue is. So I'm going to keep pushing on. That's not what we're talking about. I've got the big news of the day. So on Twitter today, there was a tweet, and there's several tweets, and it was containing Erica from Samsung, and I think there was even a couple others, and some proving, some disproving. So here's what I did. I went ahead and took it upon myself, and I got on and did chat support with Samsung. Now, this is my personal cell phone. I swear it. At 4:36, you'll be able to watch the timestamp as we go. So I hopped on. This is what they say to you. I clicked help me before I buy. Hi, no matter what you are shopping for, we are here. How can we help? I then text, can I please speak with a human? Please choose an option to connect with our experts. I came all the way down to the bottom and went to, I went to the top one, mobile product expert. Mobile product expert. See? One moment and we'll connect you with an expert for mobile accessories and wearables. Sorry, all our experts are busy helping other visitors. To save time, please give us as many details as possible and we will get back to you here or via email. Would you like to be notified when you receive an answer? So I was going to type my email in, as you can see here, and then I'll just skip right on over. Didn't take them very long. You have been connected to an independent product expert. Hello, I am Chamaya, I think is how that's said, and I apologize if I butchered it. Thank you for contacting Samsung. How may I assist you today? Here's my response. I run a YouTube channel, and my viewers would like to know if any part of the new lineup that was made by Covestro or Meta Materials Inc. Now, I know I spelt Covestro, but I think they gathered what I was trying to say because they did respond. This is the link to the order support. They will help you out. Now, I did call the phone number, and I did do this. They did not help me out. I would say call our support for more information. And then, now, I want to point out, I've got nothing in between here. Meta Materials Inc., NanoWeb Technology. For now, we do not have information on this, but we will update the website if we do soon. I said nothing about NanoWeb in any of my chat here. Nothing. It seemed to me it's not a confirmation, but there is a possibility. There's a legitimate chance that we may have some minute connection to the new Samsung stuff. Hey, I'll take it, right? All right. With that being said, I got really nothing else for you today. I think we covered everything, and I think this last little bit here was super important. I think everybody's going to like that. I'm going to try and put a Twitter post about this here in a little bit. Like, subscribe, Do what you got to do. Make sure you stop in tomorrow to Sterling. He's going to have the earnings after hours. I know that. I think he's not coming on till a little later tonight or maybe even tomorrow morning with his video. So make sure you stop and check him out. I'm glad you stopped and checked mine out again. Like, subscribe, leave a comment for the algorithms. It's very important. Again, share it with your family and friends. They need to get into Meta. Meta is going to be the future. Peace.